Welcome back to our second Fan Factory showcase. Today we're checking out Kitty CTB's save, and as with last week's season opening, the factory is located in the estuary of the Northern Desert. The save totals 777 hours in-game, and though it's a relatively compact build, there's a huge amount going on, and I have a lot to talk about. So don't forget you can jump over to satisfactorytips.com to get access to the save yourself, should you wish, after this video. So do check it out firsthand, it is well worth it. Let's get to it. And of course, if you do enjoy this series, do drop a thumbs up, and obviously if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. You'll have to forgive me, my voice is feeling a little strained today, but we're going to get straight into it. First off, we're starting in the hub area, where we can find a little trophy hall along with some cute doggos. And what I love about this section is the use of the sunken pillar as a trophy stand, along with light blue lighting, which is accentuated with the use of glass foundations. Reflecting the light is a really nice little touch that really builds up this feeling of being in a trophy hall. Leaving this area, we have a clean power plant setup. The below pipes look great, and the setup is complemented with batteries which run along the back. This then runs along to a compact Fixmas setup where snowballs have been hoarded for those extra special moments that you may find yourself in. Moving slightly back, we find ourselves looking at one of the many small compacted factories located in Kitty's save. Now, Kitty makes great use of manifolds to create these compact freestanding factories. These then fill up mini storage areas for mass building. This is actually a really nice idea, having multiple smaller storage areas as well as a main one that is easily accessible. This will cut down all of that running back and forth, and I quite like the compact look of this section. All resources are then overflowed to a drone port, which is then transported to the main storage area, and this really does stand out as one of my favourite moments in the build. I love the use of inverted ramps to help this drone pad blend into the factory. I'll definitely be adopting this into some of my own builds, and it really does remind me of the Avengers flying fortress. It's really clever, I love it. And the storage here is really compact as well, thanks to the use of lighting, which makes it feel more enclosed. This is a really nice way of making something that is quite commonly done have a more unique look to it. And of course, at this point, all the excess items that aren't used in the storage area are sunk in the awesome sink to go towards those trophies that we saw earlier. If we make our way behind the storage area, we do have a Hypertube transportation hub, as well as another favourite for me, which is this little geothermal power plant that you can see at the end. But more specifically, what really looks great about this section is the use of the foundations to create this pool, and then blending all of it together within the build, making the use of the curved walls and the straight walls. Above this, we have a train station and electronics factory which produces computers. Now, the build is compact but also pretty clean once again. The work that has gone into doing all of this really has paid off. Above this, we have a similar compact approach to crystal oscillators, and I presume this build will be built up through the tech tiers to produce more items. Outside of here, we have a beautiful item resource bus, which is taking items from the Cliffside factory, which we're about to go to, all the way back to the storage area and electronics factory. If we take a little peek inside the Cliffside factory, you'll find that once again, the build is very compact and with really clean lines. Starting with smelting on the bottom floor, it goes upwards, followed by the item production tier, which is brought up to the second floor to produce modular frames. Next door, we also have Caterium, which is being refined, with a train station bringing all the Caterium to this section. Now, what I love about the train station underneath is the beautiful use of colours to really make this section stand out. The sunburst orange and the black-grey combination really does look great. The few trains that are in this build are vital to Kitty's production. They're used to take the large quantities of items to the factory, whereas the drones that you see all over the place are taking the lower quantity stacks of produced items back to the storage area or wherever they're needed to be. So with this build being so small, what items are being brought by train? Well, we have the Caterium, as we've just seen. We also have crude oil, and we also have the bauxite. And what is prevalent by now is that Kitty takes the approach of building smaller production chains of items. Really, at this point, there is no need to produce thousands of items per minute in-game, when 100 items will do. This is actually a great opportunity to show even players who have lower end PCs that they can play the game and make full use of what the game has to offer. Here, along with the basic aluminium production, this section is producing batteries, fused modular frames, and cooling units. But along the way, we should also take note of the massive coal power plant here, which is what was providing the majority of the power for the factory when it was getting to the stage where it was starting to grow. Of course, this moves on to the fuel power plant, which you can find here. This is where the majority of the power is being produced at this stage in the factory. And I love that it's liquid cooled. It's a really nice approach that I haven't really seen used much. But I love the walkways around the build, and these are all fed by the new diluted fuel blender recipe. And I love the little funnels clipping through the factory roof on the outside. Along the side of the building, we can see the water extractors along with a bank of power storage units, which I think really blends in with the build. Really great work. But the long-term plan is definitely to make use of the nuclear power. And a really clever idea that Kitty has implemented is the cable bridge up to the uranium ore mine, which can double up as a zip line, but you have to be careful because it's a long drop if you fall off. Finally, we have the oil tower. Now, I love the use of circles to break up the straight-edged lines of most factories, and this is no different. I think it looks great. The factory produces rubber and plastic on the bottom floor, with the heavy oil residue being brought up to the second floor to be created into more diluted packaged fuel that is exported to the storage area. Now, that kind of summarizes everything that's in the factory, but though this factory is small, it's definitely worth checking out. There are some great ideas represented throughout, and of course, should you wish to see this firsthand, you can find the link to the website post below, where you will be able to download the save file and check it out yourself. But that's all we have time for in this video, so if you did like it, then let Kitty know by hitting the thumbs up, and obviously if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. We've got loads more saves lined up for this season, which I'm definitely looking forward to sharing with you all. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much to all of our amazing Patreons who allow me to do this. Most notably our Solar Eclipse Patreons, the Calamity and Cerebral Tag, as well as our Lunar Eclipse Patreons, Chris McCabe and Lord of July, as well as our Blood Moon of the Day, which today is Jonah Dent. Anyway guys, until next time, thank you so much for watching, and as always, ciao for now.